from your question. So I brought it in to make up your question. What is the purpose of the looks rating thing? Okay, so, and did you get into your objections?
No, I'm just genuinely curious. Like, what? Like, is it because you're
like, what is the purpose of looks rating in general, or asking it on the podcast? Yeah. So I think that. So my position is, I think that not all women, but a good amount of them typically have a inaccurate self-assessment of their own physical attractiveness. And typically women tend to overappraise their attractiveness. They tend to overrate themselves. And whether they genuinely believe that or not, I suppose is up for debate. But I think it speaks to a bit of, there's ego, there's pride, there's hubris that on its own I find kind of unappealing, sort of like, it's not even like an attraction thing. I generally find hubris and pride kind of poor characteristics. I think modesty, humbleness, I think those sort of traits ought to be cultivated more than just excessive pride and that. But I think the big thing is, one of the reasons I ask it is, well, I don't know if it's necessarily the reason I ask it, but I can tell you what the implication is for the dating landscape when you have not just the women who come on the show, but I would argue if you go out in public and ask women, how do you assess your attractiveness? There's a degree of delusion. I think a lot of women think they're more attractive than they actually are. And so, and part of this is because since very young, you get the trophy? What is the thing with the participation trophy? You women are princesses and you're all amazing and you need to, oh my God, the world, you deserve the world. And it's like, that's this very Disney thing where all these women think that they're Disney princesses, but the reality is, or they're kings, or not kings, excuse me, women think they're queens and princesses. Realistically, if we're going to use like royalty, I think most women at best are court jesters. Like, you're not a queen, you're not royalty, you're a peasant.
I think you're falling.
Peasants. You're all peasants. I'm a peasant. We're not special snowflakes. We're all most people are just fucking average. And so the reality is, though, I think a lot of women overappraise themselves. They overrate themselves. And so how's that going to play out in the dating landscape? If you think you are more attractive than you actually are, you're going to start aiming for men outside of your league. And then here's what's going to happen. There's a whole bunch of shit that's going to happen. One, the men who are actually on your level, you're settling for them. That's it's terrible for the men. It's terrible for you. So if a bunch of women find, like, for example, most women, I'd say average looking women want to date above average men. And it's about 50-50.
I would argue you see a lot more men that are less attractive with like solid 8, 9, 10s.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Vice versa.
Wait. But that's because women are really generous with their assessment and ratings of their own and other women's attractiveness, and really harsh judges of men's attractiveness. So this idea that, like, I'll grant to you that sometimes you'll see, by the way, it goes both ways. You'll see like a really hot girl with like she mogs him. She's better looking than him. You also see the reverse too. However, I do think it's the case that if women rate other women higher and are harsh with their ratings towards men, then like this, you saying that, well, I see really good looking women with like ugly men. I mean, okay, that's just because you're.
No, that's because I'm saying I think we come back to more character. Like, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
Okay,
like,
I also think insecure women tend to date down than date up.
Okay, but so I guess my point is that women are going to be chasing after a caliber of man. If they genuinely believe, okay, I'm this attractive, they're going to be chasing after a caliber of man that might give them sex, but isn't going to give them a relationship, marriage, a ring, etc. Because there's a difference that occurs when it comes to dating. I think for not all men, right? Not all men. But I think men, how do I frame this the best? Men will sleep with a woman that he would never, just on her looks alone, men will sleep with a woman that he would never be in a relationship with. He's just using her for sex. But he's like, he'll go down. He'll date down, essentially, sleep down. And so because this is a phenomenon, you can have a woman who's a 5, a 6, or a 7. She can go fuck like a guy who's more attractive than her. She can go sleep with him, and like a woman, you just got to be pleasant and offer sex. That's it. And when I say pleasant, it's just like, don't be a fucking psycho crazy bitch. Just be like pleasant. Excuse me, sir, want some pussy? I mean, not literally, but like that's all it takes for you as women. Not all like hyper attractive men are going to bite on that, but like on Tinder, on dating apps, you see the attention go to the top 10% of men on the dating apps. Meanwhile, like the rest are fighting over scraps and pretty much just like completely zeroed out. So let me just finish. And so if women are not realistic about their own attractiveness, they're going to reject men who are actually their league, their equivalent, and they're going to be sleeping with, pursuing, attempting to date really attractive men. Now, this doesn't play out for all women, but I would say that's pretty much one of like the big issues that I see. And then as a woman, once you've had a taste of like a really attractive guy, you can't go back. Like there's no going back. And if you do, you're gonna feel resentful. Like you're gonna have resentment for your looks league. Well, not even your looks league. You're gonna have resentment for your league. You're gonna have resentment. And that's why these women, they fuck around in their 20s, they get married at 30, and then like they get married to Joe Schmo because he's the only guy who will give her commitment. Meanwhile, she spent her fucking 20s chasing after hot dudes and just getting ran through by fucking Chad. And then the dick was better, he was more attractive, he was more psychologically and sexually stimulating because he was more attractive. And then you're going to maybe pump out 1 or 2 kids, and then I'm bored. He doesn't stimulate me. He's not attractive. You're going to divorce him within a couple of years. You're going to break up the entire family when that's actually your looks league.
I would reverse engineer the argument and say that except for the cases of girls who are very insecure, so they're dysfunctional to the mainstream society, and girls who rebel against the norms, which I take that you are, typically women are in the red pill sphere hypergamous. So women usually will focus on a man's social status way more than his physical attributes.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like you're putting it all on attraction when I'm like, for me, a league would be
part of it.
How is he as a dad? How is he successful? Is he driven? Like there's more than just,
I don't think for a woman, I really don't care about looks, to be honest.
I don't either.
I really don't.
Women who say they don't care about looks are fucking
I care
bullshit.
about looks.
No,
and there needs
I'm
to
not.
be chemistry and attraction, but there are other things that will add to that.
But that's not my argument. Isn't women only care about looks?
No, I know.
Women care about looks and then like a fuck ton of other things too.
And you guys
we'll
should
figure
care
them
about
out.
a lot of stuff too.
I totally agree. Men
Women
should care about other things.
Women don't care about looks as much.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all I'm trying to say.
That's
I think we are
accurate.
way less superficial with looks.
I do.
I kind of disagree with this. I actually think women
He's
are more
mansplained to this.
superficial.
No way.
No.
Yes.
I
Yes.
side with Brian on this one.
So here's my argument
dated
for
so
why
many
I
ugly
think
men.
this is. Now, I do think it is the case that, for example, men can make up for their lack of looks through other means. So, like if he's really confident, or he's really funny, or if he has status, or if he's a professional athlete, or he's bringing his personality, whatever. But like very few men actually reach like those high levels where like they will overcome their deficit in their looks. Like very few. Like how many men are like that level of funny? How many men are that rich? How many men are that famous? How many men have that amount of status? How many men are hyper successful?
Like, could I give you an example real quick?
I'll just finish my point, but absolutely. So I think, for example, in terms of my position that I think women care more about looks, I think that of the things that when it comes to looks, women care about, those tend to be things that are completely outside the man's control. So height, hair, which look, if a guy's balding, he can't like, please don't let me go, but like he can't really control that. Obviously there's intervention, like he could do, there's drugs, he could get hair transplants, but absent intervention to that degree, if a guy's balding, like can't really control it. Height, penis size, Men can't control this thing. Men cannot control these things, and these are things, physical traits that women care about. Whereas, whereas like for men, like men like big boobs. You can't, as a woman, you can't really control that. Men like big butts, nice butt, which you can get through working out. But overall, it's like just don't be fat. For men, it's mostly just don't be fat,
I actually know
which
a lot of
women
men
can control. But height, hair, and penis size, men can't control that. Women care a fuck ton about height.
Men can't control hair?
No, like if a guy's balding,
Oh, I see.
like he can't, he can get surgery or whatever, but
I don't think penis size matters, though.
Well,
okay, that's fine for you.
Can I point out
I would
something?
argue it matters for.
Talking about the average.
I would also argue that when it comes to looks, everyone cares about looks because if you're attracted to someone, that's the baseline of you initiating a relationship with them. But when it comes to women, if a man is not attractive to them, they'll be nice to them at first, but if he insists, it starts to feel dangerous when he's unattractive. Men don't have that same complex. So women really, I think, actually do value looks more than men. Only because if a man is unattractive and insists, you're scared of him. Meanwhile, if a woman is unattractive and she insists with a man, they, as Brian said, they might just end up using them for sex.
No, you have women all the time that are like, I was not even attracted to this guy from the beginning.
But they're insecure. They don't follow the norm.
I disagree. I think that you can genuinely not be attracted to a dude and then get to know him and become attracted. Very rarely do you find a guy dating a girl saying, I was not attracted to her and I'm with her.
I do think there's a baseline level of, I kind of agree with you, but I do think there's like a baseline, like level of physical, like a threshold of physical attractiveness that they have to get over. Mm-hmm. But then I do agree that like if you like the guy's personality, you tend to find him more physically attractive the more you get to know him.
Also, my 600-pound life, as it was brought up, there's a lot of men who will only date what they can get. And it's not a matter of, they found her attractive. It's like, this is the only woman.
That's what I'm saying. But you're saying that as a woman you have to be insecure, and as a woman you don't have to.
When you're insecure, you'll date someone you're not necessarily attracted to.
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
I have dealt with being married before. I'm like, I absolutely need attraction, but that is not the forefront. There's so many other things in my life that are more important than just being like, this is the sexiest man alive.
But by that logic, you're basically saying, I didn't find you physically attractive. I only married you for X, Y, and Z.
But you also have to factor in that I think the majority of our relationships are now starting online. A lot of people are meeting on dating apps. It's a massive way in which people are meeting. And I mean, you're going to have to afford the like we've done this experiment. I mean, we could even do it tonight, although because I've preempted my point here, I feel like you guys would adjust your answers. We've gone around the table, pulled up Bumble, and just had girls like, yes or no, would you go on a date with this guy? And just on the looks alone, women will reject like 90% of the men that they're presented with. And it's like, okay, well, the experience on the dating app is, well, it's almost exclusively looks. And then, yeah, of course, like if the guy's a piece of shit, maybe you still fuck him, but the looks have to come first. And so I'm not saying that there's other things, like you can bolster as a man, you can bolster yourself. By the way, I think women can also bolster themselves through their personality. Okay, you're an average looking girl. Are you pleasant? Are you not a hoe? Do you cook? Do you clean? Do you do things for him? Do you make yourself helpful to him? Are you submissive? Do you have good values, et cetera, et cetera? You can make yourself more appealing to men. But, I mean, I would argue that when it comes to women, this idea that women don't care about looks, or it's kind of like a minimal concern for women, completely ridiculous.
No, Brian, I have an argument.
I absolutely care. I just think it's not like as harsh as to most men probably are.
But I mean,
wait, Brian, I wanted to bring up my argument here. Yeah. So basically, you're familiar with Alex Stein, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah. What would you rate Alex Stein?
Alex Stein. Well, he's a tall guy. He's like 6'4" or something. Yeah. So that helps for him. He's funny.
But
looks-wise, honestly, like very average face, maybe below average.
Okay. So at Amfest, when I was with him, he was just getting surrounded by women that all obviously wanted him.
See, and
so it's like that's why it's like sure it might like not matter like a little. Sure, it matters a little bit for the looks, but like.
Well, so to be fair though, Alex Stein has some. you were at, where is it, CPAC or where did you say?
Amfest in Phoenix.
Yeah, so I mean, Alex Stein has a following. He has some status within the conservative circle.
Mad
race.
Women were just, these conservative women just throwing their panties.
I mean, essentially, yeah, it was getting close to it, yeah, especially the Latinas.
I would argue against the dating app theory only because Tinder, Bumble, all of these apps were designed after Grindr, a gay dating app. Women don't function the same way gay men do. We're not going to date someone that we don't know because it's just not safe. So the only women who are going out on the majority of these apps are women who are unstable and reckless.
I don't think that's true.
No, I met my husband on Tinder.
Well,
I don't think that's true. I think, like,
honestly,
I actually know several couples who are married that met on dating apps.
But for a 90%, that's anecdotal, but for a 90% rejection rate, I think there's an element of safety where you just don't want to go out with random guy. If you nail someone who's like gorgeous, sure.
Hold on, but
everyone's
a stranger before, like.
But if you meet organically, that's different in a safe, controlled environment. But if you're meeting online, that's different.
No, I think it's safer to vet men because I've found,
But how would you vet men from an internet experience? Like Stranger Danger was an application we were raised with. How is that not applicable to a romantic sexual situation?
Yeah,
you meet in public.
I mean, the safety of dating apps. I mean, there are precautions that a woman can take prior to meeting up with a man that would alleviate most of the concerns. I mean, obviously, you meet in a public place. You have a phone call, a FaceTime call beforehand. You vet them on the phone beforehand.
You don't give them your address.
You meet somewhere public. Yeah. So, I mean.
But why? It's a gay dating app modeled for heterosexual dynamics would not work effectively for the same intentions that a gay dating app would work. It's a hookup app just to have sex with whoever. Gay men obviously have that for their culture. So with Tinder and all of this jazz, if it's a dating app, it's not going to have the same efficacy.
I want to go back to, I guess, your point, which is why do we ask this question? Why does it matter? From what I see in the dating landscape, and look, just to be clear, I think men can be delusional too. There's definitely men out there who think they're more attractive than they otherwise are, whether it's related to their looks or something else. They're delusional, they have a big ego, they have pride, but I think there's a difference. I think if a man is like, I'm a 10, I'm the shit, and then he goes and say he could be pleasant and say he makes himself sexually available to women, even women in his league. But let's say he's shooting outside of his league or whatever. Men face rejection on the front end. Women will face a different sort of rejection, typically on the back end. So as a man, if I go up to a girl and say she's out of my league, I'm fucking 36, I'm pasty, I'm chubby right now, poor skin clarity, fucking big nose. Bro, I could list my deficits. And I step to a fucking, 25-year-old supermodel. Not like the Calvin Klein, fat, woke supermodel, models, like a genuine supermodel. I'm getting rejected. I'm getting rejected. Men will face that on the front end, but I could be pleasant and I could, make myself available, let's say. If I step outside my league, sometimes you get lucky, right? Maybe. But generally speaking, if you step outside your league as a man, you're going to get rejected. I'm not getting a date. I'm not getting a number. I'm not going to get a kiss, I'm not going to get sex, not going to get a relationship. I get nothing. Now, as a woman, if you shoot your shot with a guy outside of your league and you're pleasant and you make yourself available to him, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm not saying you have to be like, hey, want to fuck, but if you're approaching a guy and you're making yourself available to him, he's going to look and say, well, she's pleasant. I'll fuck her once, twice, 3 times. Maybe it'll keep you around, friends with benefits. That's why women get in situationships. You're not attractive enough for that guy to want to lock down. And to be fair, sometimes a guy's not in the place where he even wants a relationship, even if it is with a girl who's in his league. But you make yourself available and pleasant, and you offer up pussy. Even if that guy is not, even if that guy looks at you and he's like, on her looks alone, I would never be in a relationship with her, he'll fuck. He'll fuck you, he'll use you for sex. I'm not saying it's right, but he'll do it. Whereas, like, I think for women, in order for a woman to have sex with a man, that man has to be at least attractive enough that she would be in a relationship with him. So I'll say that again. In order for a woman to have sex with a man, he needs to be at least attractive enough, some level of baseline, that she would be in a relationship with that guy. For men, it's like the inverse. And actually, it's inverse in a couple different ways. For women, for a woman to have a one-night stand, it's almost the total opposite. When a man's just looking for casual sex, one-night stand, like, yeah, maybe he'll, like, ideally it's better to have it with the hottest girl you can get, but he'll go down to get the one-night stand. When a woman's willing to have a one-night stand or a casual sexual encounter, the guy, it's not like, I need to get laid out, I'll get it with like an unattractive guy. No, actually, women will break their rule for casual sex. The guy actually has to be more attractive. He has to be really hot. If she isn't otherwise, if a woman isn't otherwise interested in casual sex, if the guy's like really fucking hot, she'll break her rule in that direction.
I think you're completely right.
I think you're wrong.
You think I'm right?
You're wrong.
Like a girl, like, I'm looking for a relationship, but he's so fucking hot, I guess I'll fuck. Like, women
men
will
do
break
that
their
too.
rule that way, whereas like, so I think there's a difference here. So because, and look, I'm not saying it's right, a man will sleep with a woman, and just on her looks alone, he would never be in a relationship with her. He's already categorized her as like sex only. Not
Kind of
saying
because
it's
men are just like more down bad and like more willing to.
Yep.
Well, no,
That's
it's
true.
biological.
Yeah.
So like the
Whatever you
root
wanna call
behind it is when a woman would have sex with a man, for the entirety of the like reproductive lifespan, you could say, she has to be pregnant for 9 months in order to reproduce.
I already understand it's more
yeah.
biological. You don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to
So a woman has to be pregnant for 9
I know,
months.
like men just are
Okay, and
more
then have to take care
inclined
of the
to
kid.
have sex more often.
Yeah, and then the man, for him to successfully reproduce, it takes him like 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Right,
So that's why
I
men are less
understand this, by
picky.
the way.
I know, I'm making the point for people who don't know that, okay?
Okay,
So it's a podcast. So I mean, yeah, that's basically what comes down to it. Women are picky because they're like, should I risk having a child with this man? Is he able to provide? While men are kind of just like, stick your dick in anything that has a hole, including Gorlock. So yeah, that's essentially it.
Would you agree that vagina rules the world then?
No, maybe persuades, you could say.
Well, by that logic,
Especially
you would
the
have
ones,
to say that casual sex
especially the big
benefits-
labias, like Brian.
By that
Yes.
logic, you would have to
Yes.
say that casual sex is a currency that women have, and it's not. It's oppressive to women. It distorts their soul. It just makes them dysfunctional.
Yeah.
So it's not that vagina rules the world. It's that if a man does do that to you, it leaves you wounded, and for
Let-
him, it leaves him addicted to sex. It makes him a beast.
You're
Let
right.
me-
Yeah. It's
And
true.
I don't know. Did anything that I say there? Did any of that make sense to any of the women? Like, does that map onto reality for any of you?
Yeah.
You know,
do.
I don't know, but
I also think the amount of lust that men can have due to that sometimes can be a problem.
yeah. Really quick. You have pronouns, right? Yeah. Don't you have pronouns in your Instagram bio?
Probably, but
What are they, like they, them, or something?
Oh yeah, I thought they sounded cool.
Oh, so those aren't your actual pronouns?
No.
Okay, so anyways, back to this, just really quick, finishing off
calm that down.
my point here. And I think there's a couple things like why the looks rating matters. So I think also because of this, because women can sleep with men, say, that are outside their league. Like, for example, Drake, he'll just fuck some like good looking Instagram chick who is like socioeconomically completely below him. I mean, he's probably like selecting for good looks, so maybe like she's better looking than him. But you'll have like famous men who will date these women. So you'll have like average women who can have access to men who are more attractive than them. Granted, these men are just using them for sex, but it's like, be pleasant, and you're an average looking woman, make yourself sexually available. Like, you can fuck men who would never commit to you, but who are like attractive. And you see this happening on dating apps. Like, a guy might just be like on a fucking Friday, some like really attractive dude who's on a dating app. Oh, here's some like chubby, average looking chick. Okay, I'll fuck her. Like, you might object to it, but like, this is a phenomenon that happens. And then that chubby, average looking chick is like, oh, I fucked a dude who's like a 9 or an 8. Therefore I must be an 8 too. And then they look at the guys who are like chubby, average looking dudes, and they're like, I can do better. But it's like, no, the guy just wants to use you for sex. And if you want a relationship, you're not going to get the hot dude, and you're a chubby, average looking chick, you're not going to get the hot dude. go match up with the chubby average like dude. So it's like
I think it would benefit the dating sphere more if men were slightly more intentional about who they had sex with.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm totally fine with that.
We're also discussing people who are ultimately empty. I mean, there's been the subject, as Hannah has brought up multiple times, of character, where yes, looks are important to get your foot into the door, but ultimately, average people are usually in long-term committed relationships with other average people. It's typically the extremes that are really ugly, like the polyamorous people where it's just like a cesspit, or really successful and gold diggers are going after them. But averages, so not black pill, the majority of people are averages, they're dating pretty much within their own field.
Yes, for getting relationships, but if I would argue that, like, for example, I think average looking men don't have sexual access to women who are better looking than them, who are outside of their league. But average looking women definitely have limited sexual access to men who are outside of their league. Now, whether they act on it or not is different. I'm not saying all women do this. I argue all women have the capacity to do it. Furthermore, I would argue this. I think that as a man, if I have sex with a woman, I have a high confidence level. I can get that woman into a relationship. I don't think women can be quite as confident as, like, for example, let me ask, just because you can sleep with a guy, how confident are you in all instances that you can get him into a relationship?
It's harder.
I feel like you guys would be not quite as confident, but I'm very confident. If I can sleep with a woman, it's not 100%, but I'm very confident I can get her into a relationship.
You're using the wrong value systems. It's like saying, oh, well, women can sleep with whoever they want. Sexual access to a woman is not a value metric. It's a relationship, as you pointed out. And a relationship access is not really a value metric to a man who doesn't want to date someone who he just has interest in having sex with. You're putting a value metric that men have onto women, saying, oh, you can sleep with whoever you want. Women don't like that. As Riley already pointed out, we're not really someone...
Continue.
Mexico came to us.
Yeah. I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
Continue.
Women are not interested in having sex with just a random high status man. They're trying to secure him and bait him with sex into a relationship.
Wait. Hold on. I got to push back on this. Do you think that a woman who is fucking Chris Brown thinks that there's a high probability she's going to get a relationship from Chris Brown?
Relationship.
Well, yeah, sure. Like she wants a relationship, but like realistically,
remember delusion.
But, like I understand yes, maybe she does want a relationship, but I think like pragmatically speaking, I think most women who fuck like famous dudes, realistically speaking, like.
If a guy's in a relationship,
they know they're not going to get the guy.
If a guy's in a relationship with a girl, is he really wanting to get her flowers and get her all of this stuff, or is he trying to get sex?
Whoever bought the merch. Wait, what?
If a guy is in a relationship with a girl, does he want to be cuddling, holding hands, giving her flowers, or is he using the relationship to get sex? Likewise, if a woman is having sex with a high status man, is she doing it because she really wants to have sex with him, or is it because she's trying to get a relationship out of him?
So are you arguing that women are disinterested in sex and their own sexual pleasure, and they're using sex as a form of leverage to secure men into long-term relationships?
If women were interested in sex, why do you have an abundance of women saying they don't enjoy it and that men don't give them pleasure and that they're not good at it?
I think it's completely, first off, women are the ones who have fucking multiple orgasms. I would argue.
But I have never orgasmed during sex.
I argue that women derive more pleasure. Women are the ones with their legs fucking shaking.
They're faking it.
Less than 10% of women in one night stands orgasm.
Yeah, men are guaranteed an orgasm. Women are not guaranteed that whatsoever.
Okay, well that's on you guys, but
that's what I'm saying.
Women don't have orgasms. Actually, most women don't orgasm during sex.
It has to be a headspace.
I'm sorry for you guys,
if a woman is unstable and reckless, she might have an orgasm with a man in an unstable and reckless situation. But for the majority of women, our headspace has to be in a place of stability and trust to do that.
Look, I don't dispute that. Yes, men, like in a given sexual encounter, men are more likely to be the ones to climax. Like there's no dispute there.
100%.
But to be clear, I think like in a relationship, I think it depends on the women. Some women have like difficulty climaxing, but like
most women.
hold on, I don't know. Like maybe I just been like when I roll the dice, I've been lucky or whatever. Like,
Or
bro,
she's
these women
faking
have
it.
fucking no.
I
hold
faked a lot, okay?
on. Okay, well that's fucked
Like, get
up.
this over with.
That's totally wow. That's
a lot of women feel that way.
you should never fake. Hold on, you should never fake an orgasm because it just sets you up. Like for you gotta be. Oh, men are bad communicators. Hold on, y'all are the ones faking orgasms. Communicate with your sexual
They
partner.
do it for the men though. Like
Communicate
they
with
be
your-
putting that out of business.
Can we go around the table and ask every woman who's faked an orgasm at least once? Can we do that?
I don't think
Sure,
we have
show
to do
hands.
that.
Who's faked an orgasm?
Oh shit.
Yikes.
Wait, it's not like the usual, but it happens. Like it happens, you know.
It happens. Yeah.
Wait.
Sometimes you're just enjoying yourself and they think that you did and you're like,
It's for sex is a bonding thing.
I want it. Sometimes it's like an ego boost, though. Like, you know, he thinks like he's really putting in work, so I really want him
right.
to
You
put
should
in
not
work.
fake.
Like,
Don't
And we're going to be here for 6 hours if I don't.
But you
These
shouldn't
women,
fake it.
these women aren't having orgasms because they're desensitized from their vibrators. Like we all know that's the actual truth of it. Like,
Never
come on
had a
now.
vibrator.
Once they get into the relationship, though, their levels of
these
sexual
gooners, these
satisfaction
female
and
gooners.
orgasm
Yes.
goes up
Goonettes.
dramatically.
I
They call
have a
them
hot
shit.
take when
Wait,
it comes
really quick,
I've
really
never
quick.
had sex.
Oh my god. Okay.
Robert
Wait,
Tanner
sorry for the
donated
delay, man. Sorry for the delay.
$1,000. I agree with you, Brian. I do no understand why your guests are disagreeing.
Thank you, bro.
FYI, I have no room to say nothing else.
I need. I bought the champagne. I'll do it now. We've
You
been
keep
delayed.
promising us this
Robert
shit.
Tanner, thank you for the Robert Tanner, thank you for the big guys. W's in the chat for Robert, $1,000.
Thank you, Robert.
Fucking, what a fucking legend.
wait, are we
we're gonna
gonna
pop
cut it
2
up?
champagne bottles. I'm going to be double fisting it. Gigi William, I noticed most ladies suggested the young lad to grow his beard. Quick question: what would be your reaction if you meet a man with that beard you like? You sleep together, and in the morning it's gone.
Oh, it's makeup. It's makeup essentially.
happened to me before.
I've met guys who've shaved and I'm like, ugh, but I liked
I'll be
them, so
back.
I got over it. You know?
Literally, I know. I have a hot take when it comes to orgasm. Sex is supposed to be a bonding thing that unites two souls. With men, I honestly feel like their emotions are in their like private parts. If they hate you, they have like violating fantasies about you. If they love you, they make love to you. And if they're like annoyed by you, they just F you. Like it's all a metric of how they're emotionally feeling towards you. When it comes to women, just having that physical intimacy is good enough, where it's just like bonding you to this guy. The climax itself is like a cherry on top, but it's more so just being able to have that intimacy with him that's more important. That's why foreplay is important for women, not to climax, but just to have that affection and attention. So that's why I'm like, we're arguing oranges and tomatoes. We're equalizing men and women when they're not the same.
I mean, the only thing that really matters is men climaxing because that's what leads to
yeah, but men
reproduction.
also lie about climaxing.
Yeah, a guy lying about.
Why
coming?
is that the only?
Yes.
How does that?
Why is
How does
our
that make
pleasure
sense?
not important?
No, he's saying for reproduction.
Okay,
When it comes to
Well, how would a-
reproduction, the male
how
orgasm
would
is
a
the only
man-
thing necessary for getting
How would a
pregnant.
man fake an orgasm?
Well, they can't
First
get an
of all-
orgasm if we're dry, so you better start making us wet. So
mean, he could
maybe
just
it is
lie.
important.
I wanna
for
hear
you.
this.
I've
We're not saying he'd be
actually
good at faking it.
witnessed my ex actually lie about nutting, like straight up fucking lie about
Okay,
nutting.
you
And you know
witnessed.
he'll do like the
Did you also witness a lack of
and like all
sperm?
that extra
Like-
shit, right? And I know he didn't nut.
You don't have to look
but
at
like
it.
he will lie and say that he nutted.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
to try to make me feel better. But like I know you didn't nut.
I'm like
so
Pontius
men
Pilate.
also lie
They
about
do.
nutting the same way that women lie about nutting because we want to make each other feel
Or sometimes
good.
they're
But
like,
I can
limp,
guarantee
we
you, men will do it a lot less than women do, because they're not
True.
exactly
That's
able
true.
to.
That's
It's true. The difference is
I mean, I don't. I'm
And
not
you didn't
saying I
believe
don't
him.
fake
You
it.
didn't
Most of the
believe
time,
him.
I don't even have it.
Okay, so you didn't
too,
believe him
me
though,
too.
right? You instantly didn't believe him.
Oh no.
Why?
Well, I would know.
Yeah, you would know obviously
Yeah.
because there's something that physical that happens,
Yeah.
not just mental, right? So
Yeah.
that's why a man
So
can't
why
really.
do you say that men ejaculating is the only most important thing than women climaxing? I just
Because
don't
when a man ejaculates,
Yeah.
when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much,
I know that.
the man goes inside the woman, finishes, and the sperm combines with an egg to make children. Right.
So
it's
procreation is
reproduction.
the most important thing.
But sex
It- it is a lot more
sex
important than
happens
a
Sex
people
is a
together.
hobby to men. Though.
Sex
What
puts
I
a
meant-
relationship
No,
together.
he's just trying to make the point that the male orgasm is the only thing necessary for reproduction,
Oh,
which
kind
is
of
what
is.
sex is actually for.
Right.
Like
That
it
is what
is
sex is
pleasurable. It is meant to be a bonding thing. Like from a Christian standpoint, it is a representation of basically your spiritual, the church in Christ, and it's beautiful, but like as far as what the organs and all of that system is made for, it is ultimately made for reproduction.
Yeah, the entire reason all of you guys want to have sex is for reproduction. The only reason.
Except the majority of the guys that are sleeping with women that they don't find attractive are not trying to get them pregnant.
Okay.
Well, but the biological drive that's underpinning that, it's not that they're consciously thinking,
I want to have a kid, but subconsciously.
I want to get her pregnant.
But we
have it's the base.
That's what creates the
yes,
drive.
it's the base animal urge driving the behavior, not conscious thought.
That's why Christianity is important, because with morality, it restricts man's promiscuity.
Yes.
But without it, he turns into an animal, and animals in the animal kingdom will have sex with whatever move.
Christianity is uniquely beneficial for women because it actually, instead of like giving men a pass for monogamy, it was like, no, you both will be chaste and only be with one another. And so it was actually, in my opinion, very liberating for women because women were also considered equal in value in a culture that didn't necessarily believe that. And so
women are equal.
Huh?
Women are equal. They're not the same, but they're equal. Like in the same way 4 quarters is equal to $1. They're not the same.
Spiritually equal. Spiritually equal. Because I do think there's a distinction in like how things
mentally.
are.
But don't you think that it's important, like as a couple, to become close? And we obviously have clitorises for a reason, so that we can also experience pleasure.
It's to incentivize reproduction.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also say for women,
But it
once
doesn't
again,
help
it's
reproduction
rare for
happen.
it to be bonding when you get pleasure.
area.
It's just physical contact, like affection for a woman, which is why the romance industry is so dominant. For a woman, it's how do you give me attention? How do you give me affection? I'll take some.
Do you guys recall your champagne cups? If you want to pass them down,
actually, that one's mine.
I will refill.
You put it
I
in there?
suppose.
I think I put it in there.
I didn't have one, so I don't know.
I'll take it.
You know what? Maybe should I just do? Who wants champagne? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh no, I'm done.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'll be back. Continue on with the conversation.
What was your name again?
Angelica.
Angelica. What's your denomination?
Orthodox.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Easter's next week. But what happened? Romance for a woman, the industry itself, that's the reason it caters to us so much, is because we want to feel in love. No little girl is going, whatever. They're playing house, they're playing the romance thing, whatever. When life gives you the punches, you just kind of go, okay, I got to be rugged about it.
The big romance industry has been incredibly detrimental to relationships.
Yep. It's like porn.
It is, and like, I'm sorry, but books like 50 Shades of Grey and stuff like that, it's just porn for women.
Yeah,
it's just that because of the way.
Pride and Prejudice, but that's a whole.
Men are attracted to looks, while women are attracted to words.
And that's why we wear makeup.
Because in erotica, you have all the many pages detailing the relationship building, the context building, the romance.
Yeah.
And so women tend to find that obviously more attractive. But like the whole like romance novel, the romance movies, it sells this like horribly inaccurate idea of what relationships
they're essentially
really
smart.
are.
That's true.
All these smut novels are direct evidence of why women were not allowed to be authors back in the day. It was such a wonderful time.
When it comes to what you were saying, it's true, but I would propose the question. For the average woman, is it more important for them to be able to have that climax, or is it more important for them to feel loved and have that affection in the relationship?
I agree.
When it comes to a man, if you text him okay and you're kind of dry with him, usually they're not going to care because they're just going to take it at face value. But if you're not having sex with him, he's going to feel like you don't actually care about him. So it's a different metric.
And I would argue that
Wait,
Brian.
really quick here. Did everybody get their champagne?
No.
Wait, I was just going to say, I think
What?
more women should care about their sexual pleasure.
Hold on.
I think so.
I was just going to say that.
Cheers to Robert Tanner Salu.
Thank you, Robert. I want to call Brian a little bit of a feminist.
He is.
Wait,
and
what?
that is because, can I say why?
believe in giving women orgasms?
No. You started off, this is the toxic.
better than some men out
This
there.
right here is the toxic feminism that's ruining, that has ruined men, is what I want to say.
What? Who?
When you started off with women want to put themselves on a pedestal, and women think that they're queens, and la 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 la. In order for us to feel comfortable with men, Most women, you have to feel comfortable. And I believe it's a man's duty to make a woman feel comfortable within herself. If I'm giving, now don't judge me for my past, okay? I've obviously changed. But if I'm giving my body, I want to feel safe with said man. And if you're treating me like I'm not, like I'm just disposable and not the queen that you think that then I mean, I just think that was a very feminist point of view to say, well, women shouldn't be treated like queens. They put themselves on a pedestal. It's a man's duty to make us feel comfortable. If you want to lead in a relationship, it's a man's duty to lead and lead by making us feel comfortable and safe.
Well,
it's not, hey, princess, you're on a pedestal.
Wait,
it's your duty to make if you want us to lean in and you want to lead the relationship, which I think men should.
Hold on.
I'm all about that.
Okay.
Then you should have that
plan
mindset.
so I can respond. So this is a criticism, correct?
Not at all.
Wait, hold on. What?
Why is it a criticism?
Your point is a bit incoherent, but so you said, Brian, you're a feminist. Brian
No, I didn't say that. I said you opened up with a kind of a feminist talking point.
Okay, I have a feminist talking point, which are you pro or anti-feminist?
Anti.
Okay, so it's a criticism, right?
Well, one of the questions before I came on here was, what is something that you believe in that may be a little bit high topic or what I'm paraphrasing, and my response was, I think feminism is ruining society for both men and women, not just women.
Okay, totally agree, but what is my feminist point?
That we shouldn't be put on pedestals and made to feel like queens.
Okay, so
if you want a man to lead,
okay,
which
so
I think they should.
Wait. So you disagree with the point I made about women thinking they're queens? Is that?
You just said women put themselves way too high on a pedestal. If you want to lead a relationship, then it's a man's duty to make a woman feel safe and secure. And if you're wandering around with the attitude of, oh, this woman just thinks she's something she's not, how are you going to lead that relationship?
That's the perfect frame. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. What? It's a bit incoherent, but I'll try to parse it. So, okay. I have an objection. I have an objection to women viewing themselves as queens because I believe it's a bit, it's hubris and it's pride, and it was in the context of women having an overestimation of their attractiveness in the dating marketplace, but it was also a bit of a joke. The queen, why I think it's cringe to refer to guys who call themselves alpha male is super cringe. If they call themselves a king, I guess that's cringe. Women who call themselves, I'm a queen, I'm a boss.
Well,
queen,
that's dumb too, yes.
That's fucking cringe. But treating her like a queen? Am I the king in this?
If you want, are you into traditional relationships?
If you treat her like a queen, you kind of are though.
Yeah, if we're taking care of the home, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're taking care of your children, we carry your children, and you don't want to treat us like a queen?
What does that mean?
How does that make us feel?
Why do I have a hold on? So I have a duty.
You use the term queen.
I have a duty to treat a woman like a queen. So okay, first we'd have to. What do we mean by duty, and then what do we mean by queen? I'm not suggesting men should mistreat women. However, this idea I need to treat a woman like a queen. I think women view it like she's the queen and I'm the fucking dancing. Do we have the fucking meme? Hey, well, pull up the Discord. Go into the Discord and it's in the memes. Yeah. Go into the resources memes. It's the 2 or 3 up. And there's a GIF that's a click on that.
I knew you were going to
click on it. Click on it. And then click on the photo below it. So I think this is what women mean when this is dating for men. It's not
Jester
I'm
Maxi.
the king. It's your fucking jester. And I have to perform for the woman who's the queen. This I reject. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I completely
agree.
reject it. So this idea I have a duty to treat a woman like a queen, what does that mean? So is a queen subordinate to the king?
For me, the definition of queen is just making her feel safe. Okay, I was just using your words, but I'm just saying making a woman feel safe, making a woman feel
an exaggerate.
Yeah, you're the one that brought queen. I'm just using your words.
No, you brought queen up.
Well, because I'm using your words.
We're just joking around with the word. We don't actually think this man needs to make me feel like a queen.
He needs to worship me. No, he just needs to make me feel safe. He needs to make me feel wanted. He needs to make me feel all of these things. And I think a woman should make her man feel the same way. I'm not saying that it's one way.
I think most women wouldn't actually want a man to kind of like act subordinate to her. A woman wouldn't be really into that.
Right. If a guy's over here saying, "Ugh, who do you think you are? Like, you're just here to make babies and that's it." Like, is that going to make a woman want to be in a relationship?
It's so hard to parse this because it's like all over the place, but
it is.
So
Except
what
he
is
wants
that?
women to be submissive.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You want women to be submissive, but then you think that women shouldn't be put on a pedestal.
Yeah, women should not be put on a pedestal.
Okay. I think you can be
That's
submissive
kind of
when you feel safe enough.
How is that feminine?
Wait, most women want the submissive
No,
dynamic
it's actually
as well.
the feminist, the male feminist. The male feminists are the one who pedestalize women. It's the soy boy, the liberal men who pedestalize women.
But that's like fake feminism.
I don't actually think that at all.
Yeah.
Wait, a rejection? I mean, hold on. So there's a bit of a nuance here insofar as, like, in some ways, you'll see from both a feminist perspective, but also almost a conservative perspective, a pedestalization of women, which I personally object to. So I don't believe that women should be pedestalized. Now, of course, you should treat your girlfriend or wife. You should treat her well. You should take care of her. You should.
Well, that's being put on a pedestal.
A good boyfriend, be a good husband, but
That's
a
different
rejection
than,
of
like, going to her
pedestalization,
every word.
I don't think is.
I think the language around relationships are all dysfunctional, where it's like people say, what do I want, what do I want, what do I want? But the nature of a relationship is self-sacrificial. It's supposed to be, what can I provide, what can I provide? And when you have that lens, you can have discernment to tell if someone else is going to be a bad bet, or if they're going to be someone that can complement your giving and say, I can basically fit you in this way that a puzzle piece could.
Also, when it comes to pedestalization, I think this, and I think others would agree with me, if a man acted like he was like worshiping me and I was on this pedestal, it would be kind of like unattractive a little bit. It would kind of give me the ick.
Yeah.
It depends on your attachment style too. Whenever I'm dating someone, I kind of am very codependent. And so when another man's codependent, we're always just kind of very mushy together. But if he's like avoidant.
Just to wrap up on the original topic, you asked the question of, why do I ask the question? I don't know if that was a satisfactory answer.
That was great.
I mean, is there anything?
I think we just had different, like when you said this is how a woman should be treated,
Well,
I agree with you.
I'm talking to her at
Oh,
the
I'm
moment.
sorry. I thought you were
But so was there anything like further disagreement? Do you think that maybe there's an understanding as to why I asked the question, or did I not?
No, I get it. I was just genuinely curious because that's always a big thing
I do think it is the case that I think a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women do think that they are more attractive than they actually are, and this is going to they're going to select a mate. Like, I guess I would frame it like this. Like, let's say you think your house is worth $5 million, but it's only worth $1 million.
No bias.
Maybe you might get some people who come and like do a viewing. They might walk through it. They ain't gonna buy the house.
You might run through it too.
They might run through
Do you
it.
feel like this entire mutual with men too, though? Do you feel like men have a tendency to rate themselves higher, or no?
Not to the same degree. There are certainly men who are delusional. There are definitely men who aren't kind of aware of their standing.
Do you think money and status make them delusional?
Well, that would be a different value proposition, but I think there's like a total. You can do like a assessment in totality. So it's like, okay, well, if you're an average-looking guy, but your personality is stellar and you're super rich and all these other things, that might bolster you a little bit. But actually, interestingly enough, I actually think there's like massive amounts of discrepancy in the dating marketplace. Where, like, for example, like the CEO of a billion-dollar company, say he's in like his mid-30s or whatever, he's going to have a harder time dating than the like good-looking secretary. Like that's the dating marketplace where like you could have the CEO of a major billion-dollar corporation who's making millions and millions of dollars a year, maybe like 8 figures, who has a harder dating life than a fucking like maybe let's say like a 7 secretary.